All right, here are the questions that people sent in that they wanted to look at. So this first one here, question 19, figuring out the complement and supplement to an angle. And it gives you 1 as your measure. Now, this is not 1 degree. This is 1 radian. And the reason I know that is because there's no degree symbol there. So that means it's in radians. If you would see something like this, 45, okay, that is not 45 degrees unless there's a degree symbol there. If you see 45 with no degree symbol, that's 45 radians, which, remember, a radian, 1 is approximately right there, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is right about there. 6.28 is all the way around, so that 45 is like a, let's see, there's 6, 12, 18, 24, and let's see, the one time around was 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 4.8, 26, 30 roughly, 32.2, 30, 34, 4, 36, 6, 38, 8, 40, oh no, what the heck am I doing? Hey, let's back up. We just completely did not do that right. Okay, so it's 6.2, 12.4, 18.6, 24.8, 24 and 30, 31, 33.2, no, 31, 37.2, 43.4, 44, 45, so somewhere right about there is a 45 radian angle, because it has to go 6 all the way around, 12, and so on and so forth. Okay, that was a sidebar. Let's see here if we can get rid of all this junk. I don't need it. All right. So 1 radian is your, let's see, remember from here to there is pi, which is 3.14, which means from here to there is pi over 2, which is approximately 1.5. So 1 is this angle from here, red, this angle from here to right about there. Well, the complement to that would be pi over 2 minus 1. And let's see, you could leave it like that, or if you want to use your handy dandy calculator, put in pi divided by 2. Which is 1.570796327 minus 1 would equal 0.5707796 radians is the complement. Supplement then, remember supplement, they have to add up to 180 degrees or pi. So supplement pi minus 1. And since pi is 3.1415249, no, 3.141592654, if you subtract 1 from that, that would become 2.1415.92654. Okay, moving on to number 20. Complement and supplement of a 2 radian angle. Well, let's see again here. From there to there. There to there is pi, or 3.14159. Well, 2, this means this is pi over 2, which is 1.57, so 2 is somewhere in here. Complements have to total 90. Well, that's already bigger than 90 degrees. So, for a complement, there isn't one. Now for a supplement, you would take pi minus 2. And 3.1415 minus 2 is 1.141592654. All right. Here we have 42, which says, I think you have to write these in terms of pi. Well, remember to convert from degrees to radians. You multiply by pi and divide by 180. And there's a negative, so radian measure is negative. And 270 over 180, hey, we can divide out to 0. And 27 and 18, let's see, what goes into 27 and 18? Hey, 9 does. So that'd be a negative 3 pi over 2. For the second one, same thing. You got to multiply by pi over 180 and 144. So let's see, 180 and 144. So we can divide that by 4, we can divide that by 4. So we're still going to have pi in our answer. 180 divided by 4 is 45. And 144 divided by 4 is 36. Well, now that can be divided out more, because you can divide each by 9. And let's see, 9 goes into 36 4 times, and 9 goes into 45 5 times. So I guess we could have taken 144 divided by 36 to begin with, and 180 divided by 36 would have gotten our answer as well. So 4 pi over 5, or 4/5 pi. And then 76. Find all of these angles in degree measure. Well, pretty similar to this, except here you're going from degrees to radians, so you multiply by pi over 180. Well, if you're going from radians to degrees, you multiply by 180 over pi. Well, if you multiply 180 over pi times pi over 6, the pi's go away, and 180 divided by 6 is 30 degrees. Pi over 4 times 180 over pi, the pi's divide out, and 180 divided by 4 is 45 degrees. Pi over 3 times 180 over pi, the pi's divide out, and 3 divides into 180, so it's 60 degrees. 2 pi over 3, well, let's see, pi's divide out, 3 divides into 180 60 times, and 60 times 2 is 120. 5 pi divided by 6, let's see, the pi's divide out again, 6 goes in 180 30 times, and 30 times 5 is 150. Hey, pi, type 180 over pi, the pi's divide out, and you're left with 180 degrees. 5 pi over 4, the pi's divide out. 4 goes in 180 45 times, and 5 times 45 is 225. 4 pi over 3, let's see, the pi's divide out. 3 goes in 180 60 times, and 60 times 4. Was that 4 pi over 3 or 5 pi over 3? I think I did. Oh, right. 4 pi, so 240. Yeah, let's see. Then 5 pi over 3. Hey, same one as this, except now you have 5 times 60, which is 300 degrees. And 7 pi over 4, let's see, pi's divide out. 4 divides into 180 45 times, and 7 times 45 is 315 degrees. All right, so now for 86, you were given an arc length of 3 and an angle of 4 pi over 3, and you were supposed to figure out the radius of the circle. Oh, let's draw ourselves a circle then first. How about that? That's a complete circle. You're trying to find this distance from here to there, and its central angle is 4 pi over 3, so let's see. 3 pi over 3 is here. 4 pi over 3 has got to be somewhere like right there. From here to there. That's 4 pi over 3. And we know that the arc length is 3 meters. That means the distance from here, following this path, is 3. Hey, and isn't there something to deal with? Let's see. The length of an arc is theta times the radius of the circle equals the arc length. Well, we know that the arc length is 3. The radius of the circle we don't know, and theta is 4 pi over 3. So if we're going to solve for r, we'll multiply by 3 over 4 pi on both sides. Let's try that again. 3 over 4 pi. And that leaves you with r equals 3 times 3 is 9. And 9 divided by 4 pi is 0.7169197. And was this in feet, inches, miles, yards, meters? So we would say the radius is approximately 0.72 meters. All right, 98. What did they give you here? The diameter of some saw blade is 7.25 inches. Gotta put the label. And it rotates at 4,800 revolutions per minute. Okay, so I'm not going to try to draw a saw blade, but we're going to draw this circle. Diameter is 7.25. This thing rotates around 4,800 times in 1 minute. So A says find the angular speed in radians per second. Well now, to go around the circle 1 time, how many radians is that? It's 2 pi radians. So, and it makes 4,800 revolutions per minute. So that means 4,800 revolutions per minute at 2 pi radians for each revolution, which would be 9,600 pi. That's the angle measure. Going 4,800 times around. Now, it says radians per second. Well, how many seconds are in a minute? There are 60. So we want to take 9,600 divided by 60, and that would get you then the answer of 160 pi radians per second. Okay, then the second part of this equation, or the second part of this question, is the linear speed in feet per second. Well, now here we got to figure out what's the length of this. Since the diameter is 7.25 inches, the radius of the circle is half of 7.25, which is 3.625. And now, because we know that the radius is 3.625, to find the arc length, my goodness, learn how to spell. Arc length is equal to the radian measure of the angle times the radius. Well, the radius is 3.625. The radian measure of the angle, we just figured it out. That is 160 pi. And if you take 160 pi times 3.625, you get 1,822.12. This is now what's 3.625? It was 3.625 inches. So this is inches per second. But the question wanted in feet per second. So we have inches per second. How many feet or how many inches are in a foot? That would be 12. So we divide our 1822 number by 12 to get our final answer of 151.84 inches per, no, feet per second. And that was the last of the questions for people who asked.